Hello guys, and welcome back to the third episode of the JCP Podcast. As always, it's myself, Aisha, and Jamie. Today we're going to be talking all things social media.
Yep.
So I wanted to first of all talk about when you first basically used social media, whether that was professionally or whether it was just in your own time.
Oh God, my first experience of using social media personally was it must have been like 11 or 12, and I was on Facebook. Of all
I think
social
most
platforms.
people probably would have been Facebook.
Yeah, it's like the OG.
See, I'm different. I'm Snapchat.
Oh Jesus!
Like Snapchat and
Actually,
Instagram.
don't you have to be like 13 to get a Facebook account? We criminal.
Whoa!
No,
we criminals.
It was basically just because I had family. I've got some family up in Scotland that I wanted to talk to and stuff, and I obviously couldn't keep in contact with them because I didn't have a phone. I was 12, so I just had a Facebook account on my dad's laptop and used that and played Yeovil, which is a banging game. I don't know if that still exists these days. If it doesn't, then
Are those the
bring it
little
back out.
creatures?
No. It's like you've got like your own little character, and they can like have their own apartment. It's basically like The Sims, but like Mark Zuckerbergified.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But I mean, other than that, really professionally, my social media use, started. I think it was my first year of college when I made my LinkedIn account. I didn't post on it. It was kind of just sat there with my job role, which was sales assistant at Marks and Spencer's way back then. And that's kind of, it was just kind of sat there in the background. I didn't really think much of it until I started Mitchell and Stones, but I'll talk about that more later. But
What are you actually?
Yeah. I said personally, I was probably like year 6, which is quite bad. I don't know. Like year 5 or year 6.
No, I think that's not.
on Instagram.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I suppose it. Yeah.
I think when you see kids that are really young having it, that's when it's.
I wasn't an iPad kid, so it's all right.
I
wasn't allowed to be.
That's
but,
a whole thing.
Yeah, and then professionally, it's the same thing as you, Jamie. Like LinkedIn, I think I got it year 12. But like you, didn't post on it. Probably didn't even have a profile picture. Like, would have just said my name, and my schooling. But yeah, what about you, Callum?
I think the first time I used it, I've obviously used all like the Facebooks and Instagrams, but like I've always been sort of such a in the shadows, not posting, always just liking and stuff, but never like posting. And like even now, my own personal Instagram feed's got like 5 photos on there, and like, but if you ask me to post, I could easily do it because I know about the site. But like, it's weird posting personally, not really something I've done. And I first started using it for like professionally when I started like my Instagram for kind of like my personal designs, and use that to like market my freelance before I joined here, and basically just posted any design I did on there, and basically said, oh, if you like this, I can pay. You can pay, I can do it for you.
Yeah.
And that was a useful tool for me. And then I didn't actually use LinkedIn until I started here, because obviously, it's such an important thing for people in the business. And then in the short time I've been here, I realised that that's a pretty massive platform.
I think there's like a stigma around LinkedIn as well, that it's like super professional.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when I first got it. It was just like a bunch of like CEOs and MDs that just sit there and just talk about like stocks and shares and the function of their business. But there's so much more than that. So many like creative people like us on there, and I think that once you knock down that stigma, LinkedIn can be such a powerful platform.
I agree.
If you follow the right people, you can have a feed that's as good as one that you'd have just personally. Because follow the right designers, the right people who are going to give you the best insight, and it's great seeing people's journeys as well, because as you say, there's good like CEOs and stuff who give a bit of an insight into how they got where they were. And that's sometimes, especially when you're at work, maybe on a long day, and you see someone being like, don't give up, this is where I was.
A good quote, it'll just get you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know if we're a bit biased, because obviously we do marketing that's quite creative. Say you were doing banking, your LinkedIn feed, is it going to be that interesting? I mean, there's always going to be the motivational speakers and the inspirational quotes that you're going to see, but aside from that, I don't know.
Make it interesting.
True, but we do have it lucky.
We do. I think that we kind of get handed content ideas because we literally do it every day. It's literally our job. But I think that content on LinkedIn, and there's sort of this shift now where LinkedIn is kind of turning into what Facebook used to be, or Facebook is, I guess. And it's all about like telling a story. And some people will be like, there'll always be a couple of people in the back that are like, no, LinkedIn is strictly professional. You should stay in
Why are you sharing this?
Yeah, but no, it's like the content I find resonates the best, not only with my audience, but also with like a lot of other audiences and people that I follow. It's like personal content.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I defeated all odds and did this, or this is something I've achieved in my life that I think is really great and I want to share it with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And that's why I love LinkedIn. It's a big community of people that want to big each other up. And I love that. It's like a big support network.
Like everyone's your own personal hype man or hype woman. Just like, or hype person in your comments, and I love it. Like, especially because, I don't know, I think in our age group, even posting on like our personal social medias, like, I don't know, maybe more in school and things, but people would always have something to say. You just don't get any of that toxic like negativity on LinkedIn. Like everyone's super positive. There's always going to be a couple of people, and especially if you're growing on LinkedIn. But most of the time it's just positivity, and it just makes you want to do more. So it's great. Yeah.
I mean, we've spoken a lot about LinkedIn, but is that your favourite like social media platform, or do you actually in like, your personal life would you say actually I prefer this? Because I'd say for myself I much prefer Instagram, because it's obviously from a designer's point of view, it's aesthetic. And there's not too many like big copy heavy posts and stuff.
Yeah, I suppose you have to click into it. So,
I find myself more engaged as well, because as you say, there's not really too many, unless you want to read the caption, there's not too much read more, click on the video that starts playing, so it all just plays automatically. Yeah.
I'd say my favourite social media platform, it's a bit of a toss-up between Instagram and Pinterest. I know Pinterest isn't like super like social as in talking to people.
I think they're trying to make it more like that.
It can be, and I've definitely seen it as I've been using it over time, and that's probably my favourite. And especially it can be really collaborative. Like you wouldn't think it, but you can add so many people to your boards, and you can do. There's so much to do on there. You've got to give it a scroll. But yeah, it's between that and Instagram, because Instagram's probably it's like the first one I ever had, and then like I've been using it as it's been changing over time. But yeah, most people our age probably say TikTok, but it's up there. But
I think LinkedIn has like overtaken Facebook for me now. Facebook is just for like me saying happy birthday grandma or something like that these days. But I find that I get a lot of value out of LinkedIn. But outside of work, I'm a bit of a nerd and I like Discord. Purely because like you have your own communities in there and people that are like interested in the same things as you. It functions very similar to LinkedIn in that respect, that you can like have your own communities. It's same with a lot of social media platforms, I suppose, like Instagram as well. You can do that same thing, but it's nice to have like groups and servers and chats with people that are like interested in the same things as me. And then you have all of like the cool stuff built into it, so you can do video calling and screen share and all that stuff. So it's basically everything that I need in one place. You know what I mean? So for other people, it might not be the best solution for whatever they want, I guess. But for me, it works really well.
Yeah.
I think Discord started off very basic, didn't it? And then as it's got, because it used to really just be a messaging service, and it's grown to become more of a social media platform by the way you can share things, and there's all the video chats now and things like that.
It was catered towards like gamers, was like their main ideal customer for like the longest time. But in lockdown, that was like an immediate shift. It was like schools were using it for their classes because they could all get into a big call and they can adjust all the voice settings and they can share their screen and whatever. And it started actually working for like businesses as well. So some businesses use Discord like we use Slack. So there's like a world of functionality within it, which I love, and I love to see it evolve. And like some of the upgrades and updates that they're adding are bloody brilliant. So can't go wrong.
I love seeing how people use social media or different social media like so differently, because I've heard of Discord, but I've genuinely never used it. Like I've never downloaded it. I don't even know, is it like an app or is it like something you download?
It's both. There's an app and there's also like a website.
You see, but you might feel like similar about like the social media I use. You're like, I don't use that, but I don't know. It's interesting.
Pinterest to me is like a bit like, whoa, hold on a minute.
Sort of like why or but it's interesting. I love to see that how people use social media differently. It's just cool.
I think there's so much choice out there now that even some new social media channels starting up are targeting audiences really early, and it's working well for them. People like TikTok immediately came in.
Be Real.
Be Real.
Be Real as well. They have their target audience, and then from there, once they've grasped their target audience, then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you slowly start seeing people step in from who weren't their target audience. Like on TikTok, it was all the people dancing and all of that, and then slowly as it got more traction from like the music and stuff, it then started to attract some older people as well, and now it's just everyone, and there's such a broad spectrum like that. That's such a great way to basically plan out a social media strategy from like the company's point of view. And apart from TikTok, is there any that you think have grown well or even badly that you look back on now and think, oh, that's a rubbish social media channel, what's happened to it?
Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook's a great example.
I think that, I don't know, I just feel like organic reach on Facebook is dying. Yeah. Which is frustrating for people that do social media management. I think that with like Facebook's shift in focus, or I suppose Meta's shift in focus to the whole like Web 3.0 and Oculus and all of the new sort of technologies, I feel like they've kind of just thrown Facebook in the bin a little bit. And it is, in my eyes, a dying platform, but so I'm open to argument on that.
There's definitely still value to it, because there is obviously still that audience that use it, because a lot of people just get stuck in their ways, and they still use Facebook from when they used it when it was popular. I think that's because it is now mainly very much an older audience, and then especially on my feed, it's mostly company pages and automatically run accounts.
I really don't enjoy Facebook, because although like every social media has ads on it, paid ads, I just find the ones on Facebook really frustrating, because it comes up so often. But I will give it to them and say that like the groups and like the different ways that they connect communities and stuff like that, and like FaceBay is literally eBay but on Facebook, like stuff like that is fantastic. That is great. But the other stuff not so much.
I think where they've captured groups, as you say, is a great thing, because there's so many, especially like the older community that would have before just not known how to communicate. They very much got the older generation embedded in their minds that, we can set up a Facebook group. And then whereas the younger generation might think, let's get a WhatsApp group or a Snapchat group going. Facebook have very much got that generation down to know that that's what you do if you need to get a community together. And the pages work very well as well. Some people don't have websites and they use Facebook as their page.
Because it's just super user friendly.
I feel like it's turning into a bit of like a forum and like group board though. Like the main sort of I suppose value I get out of Facebook now is either just seeing posts that my family and friends have done, but also like groups. Like I have a group for like the little town I live in, the little village I live in, whatever, so I can keep updated on like local news, and I feel like it is kind of turning to a bit of a forum, almost like sort of how Reddit is, I guess, in a way. It's like giving information to groups of people.
I think Reddit's a great example of one that's really become a useful platform, because it was very much kind of like gamer and kind of niche to start with.
A bit like a well-known sort of toxic community.
It was kind of how Twitter's looked on now, really. But now I feel like now it's almost it can be, if you want to, it can be anything. It can be for funny content, it can be for informational content. Like the amount of times you Google something like how to do this, and Reddit's in the top certain bits.
It's great.
Reddit is the new WikiHow.
The new Ask Jeeves.
My favourite Reddit page is this like casual UK, and it's so much better than Twitter, because it's just it's so funny, and it just gets me.
I think on Reddit it is a lot more of a nicer platform in general, because it's I don't know why it is really.
I think it's maybe because you can delve deeper into things. Like Twitter's great, or Elon Twitter, I don't know.
Breaking news. Hold on a minute.
Tesla Twitter. But yeah, Twitter's great, but obviously you've got a character limit. You can only say so much, and do you want to break up all your tweets? It's so much. I think Reddit's so great for having conversations that you would have on Twitter. So you can just go into so much more detail. I only got Reddit recently.
I think I've only had it for about a year now. I don't use it loads, but when I do, I find a lot of value out of that.
Sometimes I'd go to Google something, but I can just put it in Reddit. Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I think maybe the reason that it doesn't get as much like hate and toxicity.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. On Reddit, maybe it's because on Twitter, if someone likes something or retweets it, that can be shared to a massive audience.
Yeah.
Whereas on Reddit, you're very much if you're seeing the post, you're probably following the Reddit.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it has its
Yeah.
pluses and minuses, because in terms of reach, that's it's not great. But like, yeah, it creates a more valuable community that actually are gonna, rather than just put "didn't ask" under when someone asks a question, they're gonna actually have some value to give back.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking on the whole Twitter thing, how do you think in the future, like, platforms are going to change? Because obviously Elon's now taking over Twitter. So
I have no idea with Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
I could not tell you.
is there anything you want to see in particular from like a certain social media platform? Because I know for one that Twitter, I want some more characters.
Yeah. I think the main things, or the main thing that Elon is trying to do is he's trying to promote free speech.
Yeah.
So what's in discussion, and I don't know whether it's true or not, it's just a bit of information that I saw on LinkedIn personally today, was that his whole thing is like free speech. So he's going to have like authorization processes to make sure the bots don't make accounts.
Nice.
And he's going to also, as far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure he's like unbanning everyone that has been banned previously for like things that they've said from like a political standpoint.
So like hate speech.
There's always two sides to that.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, I get it, because everyone should have their, well,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I suppose everyone's voice should be heard to a certain extent, or
Yeah.
maybe everyone should have an opportunity, and then sort of maybe if you don't want to listen, I don't know. It's quite
I think
It's
nuanced,
like pros
isn't
and
it?
negatives, isn't there?
Yeah.
I think you still need to regulate it though, in a sense, because then it's just not going to be like there'll be such, because everyone has such
It would just be
contrasting
like a
opinions.
toxic
It's-
little-
at the moment, there's opinions from everywhere, but quite often it's two sides of an argument. There's going to be all kinds of
Yeah.
things come in an argument, and it could get out of control, but it
I
could
suppose
also be
we're
the best thing ever.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah.
That's all we can say for now, because it's so new.
Yeah.
But,
Do you think Facebook will die soon? Because obviously, as you said, they're pushing towards Meta, and
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
To be quite honest with you, I don't know, because no one understands the Facebook algorithm anymore, because
no,
it's
it is-
just
yeah,
it's
is
just
very
shoddy. I think paid social fuels that site now and fuels that platform. There's still possibility for like organic reach on Facebook and stuff, but I feel like it's just kind of going to turn into this, like, my friends and family are on Facebook, so I'm just going to post stuff personally. I think that's what it's always been, at least to me. I don't think it's really going to be much bigger than that anymore. As far as like influencers go and stuff like that, I don't really think there's going to be Facebook influencers.
No,
I think it's just going to turn into like a personal platform for people to communicate with people that they care about.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's where I see it going.
Yeah, I think so too. I think as well, like, going back to Facebook, random, but it's like such a big thing, but it's more like community based, like people in your sort of more local area.
Yeah.
So I kind of see, and like, you know, you've got Facebook groups, like you said, for like your village and stuff, and like your city, your outer area, but then you don't go much further than maybe like the county you're in. So yeah, I do see it kind of just being a local thing, like a private thing.
Yeah. In terms of like video content, do you think, because at the moment it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter, because like TikTok's kind of ingrained in everyone that you swipe, if you're not engaged in the first 3 seconds,
Yeah.
you're off and you're not seeing that bit of content again. And even on YouTube, they're pushing shorts. They're really making sure that anyone that has a shorts channel that's getting pushed up in the algorithm. Do you think that will continue, or do you think it's going to be a point where we realise is value to long form content?
I'm not sure, because I'm starting to feel like I'm missing YouTube. Like I don't know. It's not that I'm getting sick of TikTok. Probably a bit addicted to it. Like, I'm loving it, but I am starting to like kind of miss YouTube. So I feel like other people are going to start feeling the same as well. So then we'll probably find a middle ground. I think it's because short video content it's like boomed recently. So then it's like it's going to become more equal soon. Maybe that's how I see it.
I like the balance of having long form content and the people that basically post the clips. So like, if you like the long form content, you can watch that. That's fine. But if you've got the short attention span, you can just click on a clip, see a funny clip, because the amount of times that I've clicked on went to find a video because I've seen a clip from it is countless. But yeah, do you think that's gonna stay very focused on short content?
To be honest, I watch short and long form content. I think that the reason why short form content has become so popular is because of COVID. And the reason I say that is because as we got out of lockdown, people are like, I don't want to waste any more time. We've got the freedom. Let's get on and do things. So I think that people are getting more impatient. As much as we hate to admit it, that is what's happening. I dread to think what it's going to be like in a few years.
It's going to be so bad. My attention span is so poor now because of TikTok.
Yeah. But I feel like you said, Aisha, there's place for long form content. I think there always will be. I watch YouTube on a regular basis. I do find I'm getting a bit more impatient with it. Like if I watch a YouTube video that's like 15 minutes long and it's like something that could be explained in like 2 minutes, then I'm sacking it off and finding something else. But at the same time, like I love a channel that springs to mind is Yes Theory, and they do like 10-15 minute long like vlog documentary type videos, and they go on all these adventures and do loads of crazy things. Their whole sort of ethos is like seeking discomfort, and that is like a motto that I'm trying to live by. And there's like a big place for that style of content in my heart. So I think that it's like two different audiences now. I think like there's like almost like an attention span split in audiences. So you've got like the group of people that can't be asked to sit and look at a video for more than 10 seconds, and then you've got the group of people that like can still really appreciate long form video. And then there's sort of like that middle ground, like people like me that do both. Which is why it's so important to have long form and short form content. Like with the podcast, I've been uploading like 30-second to 1 minute clips on my LinkedIn, and they seem to be resonating quite well with the people that I'm connected with. So if you are creating video content, it's important to do both. Otherwise you're missing the mark when it comes to
the short form content. It can be great adverts for the long form content.
I was just about to say that. If you like that, jump over to the other platform and see the whole thing.
It's like different touch
points. The trailer.
Yeah. So you like
exactly. It's full circle. We've had movie trailers for years, but now people realise.
No, just reinvented them.
Yeah, exactly. Not a new concept.
Swings and roundabouts.
Swings and roundabouts.
In terms of from a business point of view, do you think LinkedIn going forward will be the kind of go-to, or could you see anything else maybe growing and overtaking it and maybe filling the gap that's in terms of being used for business?
Depends what you're trying to achieve.
I
think I think when it comes to like business brand awareness, do I think that LinkedIn is like the most effective way of doing that? Technically yes, but also no. People I find resonate more with our personal accounts than they do with a company account. Reason being is that people buy, or at least create a parasocial bond with that's that big word again. No, people create that bond with other people and
people
not
buy
with
from
business.
people.
Buy from people, but I don't want to sit here and say that, because I don't think that LinkedIn is there for us to like generate sales and leads.
That's
not what we're
absolutely
trying to do.
No.
It's more so just like building that brand awareness, and I think that is what's so important for businesses nowadays, is like showing like the culture within your company. So is LinkedIn good for business? In a way, because if you let your employees have a personal brand, then you're far ahead of the game, as we are. And people will kind of connect our own personal brand with Michelin Stones, because that's kind of where we work and whatever. But at the same time, it's also like, is LinkedIn the most effective for, like, if you just have your business's socials, is LinkedIn like the most effective? I'm not sure that it is. Because if you don't have the people behind it, then there's a bit of like a detachment between the meeting.
I would not to be that person, but I would say the same thing.
Sorry, did I just
you like took everything from my brain.
Right, so that's it, I think. So thank you very much for watching. As always, follow us on all of our socials and our personal LinkedIns. You're always very active on there, aren't you?
I'm an addict.
Jamie's popping off.
I'm trying. I'm trying my hardest. Consistency is key.
It is.
I'm trying to take a leaf out of your book. Consistency. But follow our LinkedIns, follow all of our socials, Michelin Stones, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.